Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Thrifterman. Wanted to do a video today, talk about my experience buying abandoned storage units. So far I bought 30 and I started in June, so it's been about 8 months. So I wanted to kind of do a video to just talk about my experience doing it and some of the pros and cons, and just like give you guys some more information if you're thinking about doing it. I'm in the GTA, Toronto area, Toronto, Ontario, Canada. So it might be different, wherever you guys are at. Your experience might be different than mine, but I'm just gonna let you guys know, my experience so far. And yeah. So my strategy for doing this is based on my circumstances, right? Like how I said, I don't have a big vehicle or a lot of space, and I'm by myself, so I've kind of taken the path of just buying the smaller ones, the smaller units, and the cheaper ones. And what I've noticed after buying 30 is a lot of them are average, right? Average to below average. So when I'm bidding, I'm bidding conservatively. I'm not paying up crazy amounts of money, more than I think the value of what's inside is, right? Because there's been so many times where I bought a unit and there's more times where I bought a unit and been like, okay, good thing I didn't pay more, versus a unit where I'm like, okay, I could have even paid double this, So there are good units out there. I mean, I've got a bunch of good units that I didn't even pay that much for, but a lot of them, majority of them are average to below average. So that's why my advice would be to not overpay more than what you think. When you look at a unit you're gonna bid on, you like it, try to stick to the amount your max bid, what you think you should pay, right? I mean, that's different for everyone, but from what I've seen, since I started till now, when I first started, after you buy 5 or 10, you kind of get an idea of how much a certain unit should go for. Obviously every unit is different, so you don't know 100%, but you get an idea as you do it of what things should be going for. Now recently, the last, I would say 2 months, units have been going for crazy money here in Toronto, a lot more than what I saw them go for in the summertime, in the fall. So it's been a lot more challenging getting units just because the prices are super inflated. I think the supply is the same, but I think there's more people bidding, right? So that increases the price, right? So it's been a little bit more difficult, but I'm still getting units. I'm just trying not to overpay, and I'm trying to stick to my strategy. And if you do, you're gonna miss out on some, but I think missing out on some is better than overpaying, and then potentially it's not gonna be worth it. You're not gonna make any money, or maybe you make a little bit of money, but it's not gonna be worth the time that you gotta put aside to clean out a unit, right? So that's what's going on right now in the market. That's kind of my strategy. Also too, not everything sells fast. There's some stuff that you'll get in a storage unit that has value, but it might not sell. It might not be something that people really want, right? So that's another thing you got to consider when you're doing this, that not everything sells fast. For me, I like to sell stuff quickly. I try to maximize, I try to get as much as I can out of the unit, and I try to sell as fast as I can, get my money back, and then repeat, right? So that's a little bit of my strategy. Okay, so the pros to this business, I would say, is it's easy to start. You don't need tons of capital to get started doing this business. You can start this business with $100. You need a vehicle. I mean you don't need a vehicle. You can always rent one, but it does help having a vehicle. But other than that, if you have you can rent out a small storage locker for like $100 a month or something to store, you know, to get started. And then you just need like maybe like a couple $100 really to start. That's all you really need. I mean, it'd probably be better to have a little bit more capital, and then you can kind of, you know, you can kind of buy a unit. You don't have to wait for the stuff to sell. Then you could, another one comes up, you can buy another one, because it does take time to sell through items. But yeah, like the process is easy too. You just bid, you buy it, you go to the storage place, pay, and then you just, you know, you empty out the unit. It's pretty simple. You can find a lot of items like quickly. Like you can buy a unit for $100 or $200 or something. You could potentially have merchandise to sell for a month. So that's like another good thing about it. You can really get a lot of inventory quickly. What else did I have here? I had another one here. I mean, and profit too. Like you can make some good money if you hit on a good locker. I've hit on a couple that are, you know, pretty good. You can like 20x your money, 30x your money on some of these lockers. And honestly, there's not much risk. If you bid conservatively and you're not going for every unit and trying to win every unit, like if you're disciplined, you can definitely make some money. But you gotta have like kind of like a plan, and you know, you gotta stick to that plan. And you know, also too, you gotta like track your numbers, how much you're paying for the unit, what you're getting out of it, you know, your profits, stuff like that. But there is definitely some good money to be made doing this. So the cons to doing this kind of business, I guess, like first thing is like it is kind of like a gambling. I mean, if you're smart about it, it's not, but I know how it kind of can look. It kind of can look like gambling, and it kind of is, because you don't really know what you're buying. So there is some risk in that sense. It's a little bit of a gamble. Sometimes, you know, it doesn't work out. You buy a unit, you think it's gonna be good, you buy it, you know, and it turns out to be a shitty one. So then you gotta, you know, it's time to, you know, there's a lot of time involved in clearing it out. You might have to go to the dump. There could be, you know, there is cost to the dump fees, donation. I mean, it's mostly just time. It could be money if you spend a lot on a unit and it doesn't pan out. You know, you could lose money. But that's why I say to bid conservatively. I mean, for me, like I'm not, like when I buy a unit, I'm comfortable with losing whatever I put into it. You know, so as long as you look at it like that way, it's you know, it's not that risky. I mean, for me, I bought 30 units. I would say there's probably maybe 3 or 4 units where I lost money. So worst case, you know, you break even or you make a little bit of profit. But most you can make, you know, you can double your money at the very least, right? So, I mean, there's not too many cons to doing it. I mean, it is competitive. Sometimes it's difficult to get a unit. And it can be inconsistent when you first start, and you know, it's hard, like building up inventory and that kind of thing. But I think once you get going and you hit on a couple good lockers, you know, it gets easier from that point on, right? So I guess another con would be like space. Like if you're buying a lot of units, you need space to store stuff. And also too, you need kind of some ways to liquidate the inventory quickly. So I haven't really, you know, figured that much out yet. Like I've been like kind of selling like clothing and stuff to Plato's Closet and, you know, secondhand stores. They're buying it, like stuff I'm just trying to clear out and flip quickly. So that's kind of one of the ways I'm getting rid of some inventory. Another thing too, like you should, when you're doing it, like for me, I focus more on units that don't have furniture, don't have big items. You know, I like buying like clothing, even though it's not the greatest to sell. I can get rid of it, you know, quickly to like Plato's Closet and stuff like that. So I do focus on, you know, clothing units, or, you know, like auto parts, electronics, I try to stay away from like the household stuff, you know, like decor and that kind of stuff. It just, and like furniture, like I try to stay away from that stuff. You know, I'm looking for like clothing, even tools, but tools go for a lot of money. People bid those lockers up quite a bit. But yeah, I guess those are kind of the things you have to think about. I wouldn't say they're negatives necessarily, but they are things that you have to like consider, you know, before you start. Now, like the units that I would stay away from, this is just my, this is just, you know, from my experience, my opinion. The ones you want to stay away from are the ones that, you know, there's a lot of valuable stuff that you can see. So like the whole, like for example, you know, sneakers, Jordans, Nikes. I mean, or like if you see like flat screen TVs, like if you see them clearly, then everyone else that's looking at the unit sees them as well. So those units, you know, those units are going to get bid up. Like I already, like I can tell, like when I see a unit, I'm like, okay, this is going to go for like crazy money. And the thing is, like, yeah, it might be a good unit, but if people pay crazy money for it, you know, then you're not going to make anything. And most stuff, like for example, sneakers, like Jordans and stuff, like once I see like let's say there's like a bunch of Jordans or something in the unit, or Nikes, whatever, brand name stuff. Once I see that, I know people are just gonna go crazy on the bid. And honestly, like shoes, like used sneakers, used Jordans, they don't sell for that much. So those kind of units, I stay away from them. Like, cause I know everyone's gonna bid them up, and when you get it, you know, you're gonna pay up, you're gonna get it, and then you're probably not gonna make any money. Like you might just make your cost price back. So those ones I stay away from. I try to go for ones that maybe I see one item or two items that look good, but say maybe the rest of it's a little bit, you know, junky or whatever. Those are the ones I'll take a chance on, because I know like they're not gonna be as much people looking at them, so they're not gonna get bid up like crazy. And then those are the ones where, you know, if you get them at a good price, there could be stuff hidden, right? Like, so there could be stuff you can't see. So that's kind of that's where your profit is, right? Your profit is on the items that you don't see. So you gotta kind of, that's the hard part of it. Like that's the hard part of this business, is you gotta kind of just guess. Like you gotta really guess, like, and hope. I mean, it's a lot of it is luck too, that there's something good in there. But from experience, you kind of see what lockers have that, right? And then that's where you want to go for. That's where you're gonna make money. But you're not gonna make money on the ones that, you know, you can see everything, and you know it's stuff that, you know, like people are just gonna bid up like crazy, and you know, at the end of the day, you're not gonna make any money. Like there's one recently that I was looking at. I think it had a lot of like clothing. It was like fairly organized. It was like in vacuum sealed like bags, and it wasn't really too much stuff that you could actually see. There's a couple purses. There's like a suit like in the protective like case. But I was like, okay, this locker is probably like 400 to 500 max, and then, you know, it gets bid up to like $900, and then plus tax. So like those ones aren't worth it. Like those ones are worth it. Yeah, maybe there's something good in there. It could be, but most of the time it's not that good, and then you're probably just, most likely you're gonna break even. So that's kind of a little bit of extra, you know, extra strategy to doing this kind of thing. So yeah, if you're gonna start, I would just say like have a little bit of a plan first. Figure out what your strategy is gonna be, what kind of units you want to go for, and then kind of have an idea of how you're gonna sell the items once you buy. Like the first part of it is buying it, but after that is a whole nother part of the business that you have to think about. And it's a big part of the business too, right? That's like half the business, is like figuring out how you're gonna sell the items. eBay is good, Facebook Marketplace if you want to sell stuff locally. I know a lot of people, like, they do this. They have a store, like a thrift store, secondhand store, so they put a lot of the stuff in the secondhand store. If you have a secondhand, if you're running like a thrift store, you know, it's a good way to source items for a thrift store. There's tons of like decor items that I got in units that I just ended up donating, but if I had a shop, I could just fill the shelves with that kind of stuff, you know. That's how you can really maximize what you get in a unit. So that's something you got to think about, and then you just got to think about what kind of units you want to go for and what kind of strategy you want to have. You want to go for the bigger units and pay up and pay more, invest more money, or, you know, do you want to go for the smaller ones and, you know, put in less? I can't really speak on like the buying bigger ones and spending more money up front. I think you should probably start small and then scale. See if you can scale up to that. Don't start buying massive units. You know, it's overwhelming, the amount of stuff that, even in a 5x5 or a 5x10 unit, it's overwhelming the amount of stuff that, you know, you got to go through. So I would start small, and then if you want to scale up, then go for the bigger ones. But for me, like, I'm cool with the smaller units, as long as I'm getting inventory that I like. I'm cool with doing the smaller ones, you know, for now anyway, unless I see like a bigger unit that, you know, I think really looks good, then I'll go for it. But I just stick to the smaller ones. So I forgot to mention, so my average, so I bought 30 units. My average cost per unit is about $150, $140, $150, and then after, you know, all the fees, everything, you know, costs, whatever, I'm making about $450 per unit, which I think is pretty good. So I'm trying to like increase that, obviously trying to scale up a bit, but like I said, right now it's tough because, you know, it's very competitive. I feel like there's more people, you know, trying to do this kind of business, so the prices are going higher. But for me, I just try to stay disciplined and you know, my bidding and stuff like that. And, you know, I don't want to like chase units, and, you know, because it cuts into your profit as well, right? So yeah, that's kind of like a rough idea of my numbers, what I'm doing. So like a little recap of the video. So it's been going well up until like the last couple months. Have been more challenging because, like I said, like you know, it's more competitive. More people, I think, are trying to do this kind of business. So, you know, the prices have been, you know, increased. But you know, it's been going well. You just got to have like the strategy in place before you start. Kind of have like an idea of the units you want to go for, you know, and then where you want to sell. You know, the inventory, eBay, Facebook Marketplace for local sales is what I do. I go for smaller units. You know, you just have to consider your time clearing out the units, and, you know, costs, you know, like disposing of stuff, dump fees, stuff like that. And yeah, but I think it's so far it's been good. I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm just gonna like make sure that every, you know, 6 months or maybe even 3 months, you know, I go over my numbers, see how I'm doing, and, you know, track everything, because you really gotta reflect, look at the numbers, and then see, you know, if it makes sense, you know, to continue doing it, right? So that's a video. Just wanted to make that, talk a little bit about my experience doing the storage units. I hope you guys like this kind of content. If you do, leave a like. Consider subscribing to the channel. You know, I really appreciate all you guys have, you know, commented, watched my videos. You know, I really appreciate you guys. I'm gonna continue trying to be more consistent, making the videos for you guys. So yeah, appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.